This has been quite a long time coming, but this is the latest Flashback Atari Gold HD for the 50th anniversary of Atari. This is an unboxing. Hi guys, Retro Tech Ralph here with another unboxing for you. This time we have the Atari Flashback Gold HD version for the 50th anniversary of Atari. They released two of these, and it was weird that they actually released two. 110 games in it, and came with the joysticks and the nice, lovely little mini console looking like the original Woody 2600. This version, it comes with 130 and the paddles. And it's nice that you get the paddles because the original paddles apparently don't really work. I don't think I have one with paddles on this. Right, this is the problem with this. I don't know why they haven't properly distributed this to sale. It's barely been on Amazon. It's barely been around to actually buy. But the only place I can actually find this for somebody to sell a lot was, I think it was a person in Saudi Arabia who was selling stacks of them, but it's the import charges, the fees for delivery, and in case you get caught at customs, then the extra part on that. Eventually found some on Amazon, which, yeah, this is a birthday present. I've just turned 51, so I'm just a little bit older than an Atari. Actually, I'm probably the same age, to be honest. I'm as old as Pong, to be honest. So this is the 50th anniversary. This was a little bit reduced because there is a dint there, and we think we're figuring out there's a little bit of a crease there, but that's in the packaging. It's still sealed. It's not like somebody has got this and run away with it. So yes, from just for games, or gamers, yes, just for games. Okay. I mean, these I don't understand. They're in France, but they haven't distributed to the UK, maybe because with Brexit and all that sort of gubbins. Yeah, I understand. So let's look now. We've got two wired joysticks, which is quite weird, because I thought they might have the wireless ones. They have to be the wired paddles. The original paddles on here used to have go-to one connector, because all you gotta do is like turn that and then a fire button, so they wasn't using the entire lot. So you could technically have 4 players with 4 paddles into the 2 sockets on the back. We look on the back here. This does not show all of the 130 games. But Adventure 2, Asteroid Deluxe, which is probably going to be the 7800. Any more on there for 7800? I don't know. We'll come across it. Yeah, let's look across base. Basketball, Cannon, Bomber, Combat, Demons of Diamonds, Crystal Castles. Yeah, Fatal Run, Golf, Gravitar, Hero, Indy 500, Millipede, Night Driver, Pressure Cooker. Yeah, there's absolutely stacks. There's Super Breakout, which is definitely a paddle game. Starship, Video Pinball. Yeah, Surround, Skydiver. Ones I used to have as a kid, I had Asteroids Original, but not Asteroid Deluxe. It might be for the 2600, I'm not entirely sure. Demons of Diamonds and Crystal Castles. See, there's not many on here I've actually had. That's quite weird. I mean, yeah, there's stuff like basketball, we've got baseball, soccer. Super Breakout definitely had. Space Invaders. I never actually had that as a kid. Played it as a kid, but wanted it as a kid. Never actually got it. And that's it really. So we are, like I said, we are sealed. Here comes a scalpel. Try and take off the seal, because I don't want to damage anything. I know I could just cut straight across, which, to be honest, I'm going to do that anyway. Get that opened. So we'll have a look inside. Maybe a little bit of a gaming as well. Ooh, that looks pretty, and that's a little bit awkward as well, because this is sold in the UK. So we have the console. They actually got those springy ones as well on there, like the original. 2 joystick ports on the back, same size. HDMI, which is really good. Power from a USB micro, which is fine, except the USB micro, great, but that is not a UK plug. So I will use a different power supply. I mean, I could put an adapter on the end of that and use this. This is definitely the one that they recommend, but I won't be using that anyway, so that goes bye-bye. It's weird how these are still exactly the same size of what they originally were. Comes with a HDMI cable, so that's standard HDMI to standard HDMI, which is good, because I've just actually bought one of these for a gadget in here, and I could have done with this anyway, instead of me buying one. Great. Okay, so 2 paddles actually go to 1 connector, like they did in the original. So you got the paddle, turn, that's quite, yeah. That's nice and be able to control that. It's not very loose, which is good. It goes that way, it goes down. Get the joysticks over here, standard. Actually, not standard, they're exactly the same as each other. Not. One has the single button. That's probably player 2, because it goes P2 on here. Up, down, left, right. Do you know the funny thing about it? What if you can't tell the difference with looking at this? What the difference on these are? No, it's where the cable comes out. I think they came out the top left on the originals, or from the middle. These are neither. So up, down, left, right. Feels as loose as any Atari would. Also on here, got the menu button, select, start, and rewind, which is nice in case you mess things up. So nice pair of joysticks. The usual instructions on there as well. Flashback gold instructions. Yep. Power switch, difficulty switch, difficulty for left and right player, game select, and reset. Left and right control, yeah, HDMI, yep. System reset as well. Okay, so that's underneath there. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Before I play this, I think I might actually just have a quick look inside, because it needs a really small screwdriver, taking 4 screws out. Just to have a quick look at what we get actually inside the gubbin. So I'm going to put that away a second, get a screwdriver, and just have a quick look inside this. Now, 4 very small Phillips screws later, and pull from the front. Oh, okay, it's the same as before, which is fine. It's a nice little kind of pie-esque sort of. That goes up and then connects from there. Good. Pie-esque sort of board with a few chips on there as well. So it's not exactly the same as before. It's kind of not got a glued underneath. That's cool. It's nice to see exactly what chip it is. So it's a rock chip. It's like a memory chip, and then a racing chip on there. Looks like there's more parts in here we could upgrade, possibly 2. Not sure if that's an LED port or the testing parts. Another chip on there could be. There's coils, nice resistors. Yeah, fine. There's 4 screws holding this part on. I don't think there's much point in taking that off to see what's underneath it, because there probably isn't anything. No, it doesn't look like anything. Top part is just going to board with a few screws on. A little bit of burnt flux on there. You can see underneath you've got the switches, buttons there, really tiny ones. On-off switch for the difficulties. It is nice being in gold. They never did the gold, the original, but with there's been the 50th anniversary, the golden anniversary of this, then so be it. Nice. So that side looks like it just pushes straight in, and this bit goes underneath and then just clicks into place. And it just nips the cable. There we go. So cool. That's inside the actual gold. This is number 11, by the way, of the flashbacks, if anybody's counting. So I'm going to put this back together again properly. I'm going to wire this up. I want to actually see this working. Okay, got it all rigged up. Power on. Okay, got the At Games logo coming straight on. Nice and quick. Wait a little bit for it to come on. There we go. Okay, bit of music in the background, that's okay. There's no copyright strikes. So we have row of 10 to start with. We can obviously change. Yeah, we can also change the volume as well by turning that down a lot. 10 per page, so I'll go down. Ooh. So we have his Asteroids, and we have Asteroid Deluxe as well. So I'm certain that is actually a 7800 game. It does say 2600 there. Barnstorming, Climber, Aquaventure. So page 2, very iffy sound. Bridge, Burger Time, okay. Centipede, Crystal Castles, Crackpots. You can see these as well on screen. These are what you get. I've got Dolphin, never had a Dolphin. Okay, Dragster I've heard of, that's an awkward game to play. Fishing Frontline, that must be the arcade one, Tato one. Okay, page 6. Right, showing, must have another page afterwards. Kaboom, that's another paddle game, which is really good. Joystick's the usual. Laser Blast, yeah, that's kind of a twist on Missile Command as well. Keystone Caper's really good game. I will be playing that in a second. Yeah, Pitfall, okay, cool. Pitfall 2 as well. Plaque Attack, yeah, okay. Off the Wall, Pressure Cooker, Private Eyes, never heard of that one. River Raid, absolutely classic, one of the best games. River Raid 2, okay, fine. Second one as well, that's good, they're expanding quite nicely. Slot Racers, that was a horrible game for music. Vile game for music. Ooh. Stampede, yeah. Star Master, great game. Super Breakout, yeah, that's another one I'm probably going to be playing. And Video, yeah, Yours Revenge, oh yeah, Yours Return actually. And Yours Revenge, cool. So, that's not bad actually, to be 130 games in here without even trying. Go down for the left hand side, Atari games, it shows you full Atari ones. I assume that you can change, or can you? Nope. Atari and paddle games, these are the paddle games where you can play, there's only 2 pages of that. So that makes it, you've got 13 paddle games. Yeah, so. Can we, no, can we go there? There we go. Settings. Delete all saves. What's a bezel? Okay. Oh, background. Okay. So I can change that to that. Background music. Okay. So let's go back to alphabetical. Why the bezel? That must be the bezel when it's actually playing the game then. So that's fine. Okay. So quick launch. Let's go for a nice game of Asteroid. Fine, play the game. Okay. The bezel's on the outside of here. Okay, fine. So we can go through the different game selects on here with the fourth button across. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's definitely the original ROM for it, because these were ridiculous, the amount of games variations you can have on these. 63. I want just one number 1. There you go. Thank you. So, game starts. So get it thrust so you can move forward. Back for hyperspace. You never knew where you were coming. Hi, kitty. I know. You might hear some meowing, that's not the game. That's actually Gizmo's turned up. Bang. So can we reset from here? We can start, select and rewind. Oh, here we go then. So the rewind past where I crashed? Yeah. And again. So can I change my mind on that? Yes, I can. Although everything is flashing like crazy. I better it's gone back to normal. Oh no, it hasn't. Oh. Yeah, so okay, those switches work as well. So the actual get out of the menu button's there. So I can just quick game scanline filter. Let's try that. Right, resume game. You've got lines on things, which is, yeah, like the original. Don't think I'm bothered about that, so we'll take that off and quit the game and go find something else to play. Now, there's one game I used to have as a kid, and that's the Activision Decathlon, and it was an absolute joystick killer. And I'll show you this by this. I mean, the graphics are absolutely amazing and brilliant, but this is what you played with in the 80s. Right, so 100 metre dash was as soon as you start going, you have to just left and right leg. It's kind of like track and field, where you press both of the left and right buttons on the arcade, but it's not that easy. I did actually make my own joystick once, strip one of these apart so I could just tap them. Very easy to do. No points. Thank you. Why is it not giving me any? Ah, long jump next. So there's no problem with the angle either on this. It was just, you jumped and that was it. And I got some points there. So let's get back onto quick game. But they are pretty much as they were. What's the back button? There it is. Exactly as they were back in the day. Demons to Diamonds. I'll do that in a... Try another one. Actually, I used to love Frostbite. I have to play Frostbite. They got 2022 copyrights as well, so this was out last year, which is a bit weird. So I'll wait for the burst to go past, and then I'll come down on there. Oh! So every time you land on one of these, yeah, you might have seen that that comes on. You make your igloo, and then you jump in, and you're done. Now that's as hard as the game gets. But if you take your time in the 45 degrees, which is global warming obviously, comes in, you can eat fish. Don't be afraid to catch fish. That was a bad move to do that. Once you've done it, you go and off you go. You got 28, 27, 26, 25. I could get some more points by eating the fish. Simple as. But then when the bear turns up on the top, that's when you know you've had it. I can wait a second. Eat the two fish. Yeah, very nice, easy, simple game to get. And they're all crabs. I'm not going to get anywhere near with that one. No. Okay. Ah, it pushes you off. So, another game. Good thing about this, if you're actually playing it all and you've got your favourites and stuff, over here, recent played, it's got the 3 we've played. Back to alphabetical. I want to play, I used to love Mega Mania, but I'm not playing it. Pitfall, I want to play one with the paddles now. So I'm going to probably put Super Breakout on because that was an absolutely brilliant game to do. So, one sec, I'll just put the paddles on. So, I've got my paddles here. It does actually warn you there, paddles must be plugged in after the game is started. So, select, use joystick, control all paddles. So I'll select that one. I don't know if I take out the other one or not, or whether or not I can just put it straight in number 2. I assume that you put this into number 1. Ah, wireless joysticks are not what? Not properly. Okay. Nope, no, that's not that one moving. That one. Nope, nope. Give me a warning. I've completely ignored it as usual. So I'm going to plug that into number 1. Which is a little awkward to do. Why will that not go into there? Bent one of the pins already. There we go. Right. Well, this joystick will not work properly. Put it plugged in. Here, press button. Right. So, still doesn't work. So That one works, right. So that's quite good. When you used to get these paddles back in the day, and there's always just a rotatory potentiometer in there anyway, when there's a little bit dirt on the context itself, it would just do this all the time. It's like it's stuttering all the time. It's so weird. So it's horrible to play. Right. This is just Pong against a wall. Okay. You get parts where you'd be come back down itself. See, this is just Arkanoid came out later than this. I put money on that, but they're all just variations on Pong anyway. Arkanoid was a nice enough game to play. Oh, I missed it again. Close. Just takes a lot of practice to get back into these. I think after 8 hits with the bat it goes diagonal. Oh, that was lucky. Or it goes kind of straightish. Come on. Is that it? There you go. So it changes its angle to go up, so it makes it difficult to hit a bit more. But you see what I mean? It's a nice Pong variant sort of thing. So let's go back to, can we reset? No, we can't reset. Oh. That was a weird thing, the music chip was weird. Diddle-oong. So every time you hit something it was like that. Oh yes. Oh, even worse. So, I can get back onto that one. That's the only problem I can see with this, is that you've got to swap and change all the time, which is a bit weird. What else am I going to play? Yeah, it's not a bad selection, to be honest. I quite like it. Let's go for the worst game ever that I actually owned a cartridge of. Slot Racers. Not just for the game being pants, but for the actual noises. So you'd accelerate, but you'd turn that to go down that way. Otherwise it would just hit a wall and go around it. And you'd fire. It's not the fastest. So that way, and shoot. Bang. So without play, this is usually a 2-player game anyway. So it's easy enough to do. Just an absolute pain in the bum. So you can obviously go around the maze and that's not going to get that one, is it? Yeah, so you see what I mean? You've got plenty of different games. I think you've got different maps, different. Is that 2-player with another one? Oh, that's just cheating. Yeah, that's not against the computer. Where was... That's faster. Just, it's absolutely wildly going round. I don't know. This is actually weirdly quite challenging. Yeah, so basically, yeah, it's not the best game around, but it is definitely it's worth a play. All of these games were worth a play back in the day. They're absolutely brilliant. So yeah, if you actually, that's the point. Space Rand, does that look like Zuvius to you? Exvius, Space Raid. Okay. That's red, yeah, go. Whoa! Okay. I'm wondering if the dots are meant to be there. That was an upside down Smurf. In the floor. That is the weirdest thing. Oh. Actually, to be honest, we've got the rewind button. I want to see if that was actually an upside down Smurf or not. The Smurf is for the 2600. It was different names or something. That wasn't it. That wasn't it. Come on. There it is. Looks like a coffee cup. Coffee cup with a Smurf underneath it. Weird. So, anyway, there you go. That's the Atari 2600 Flashback Gold, number 11. I mean, I don't have all of them anyway, but I think I will keep collecting the ones that I've got, the latest ones. This only thing that's missing on this one, we do not have an SD card slot, so the best one you could probably get your hands on is probably the 10. This one having the paddles as well is pretty decent. I think the 9 and the 10 did have the SD card slot in the back, which is brilliant because you can add more ROMs. ROMs are out there. If you want to find them, off you go. There's plenty of means and ways to get hold of all these ROMs anyway. So yeah, you could add more on. These, I don't think you can unless you could potentially use a USB socket on the back with a... Actually, I didn't look inside if there were a SD card slot, did we? There might be a way of upgrading that to it. Yeah, potential anyway. Or maybe just do something with a USB slot anyway. So, yeah, that's fine. It's not just for power, but for data as well. I'm sure they haven't took that off completely. They're not that silly. So, yeah, there you go. If you want to go find one, there's plenty on Amazon at the moment. But like I say, this is nearly a year since they were released. So it's a bit odd why they haven't actually brought them out properly as a full release. Unless At Games, when they've been a French company, did not want or could not get a license to actually do anything with the UK. I'm not quite sure. It's a bit whatever, really. So that's fine. I managed to get hold of one. Shame it hasn't got the power supply properly with it, but that's not an issue. I got USB. I've got a decent enough plug-in variable power supply up there with a USB on it anyway, so there's plenty of more than enough amps than what this could ever need. So yeah, PC would be fine. A standard phone charger for nowadays. They're over on 5 volts. As long as you got plenty of amps on there, probably maybe 1 amp, probably that's all it need. Which I'm not sure. Can we have a look? Time to time. It doesn't actually say how many amps. Yeah, so it does 5 volt 1 amp. So as long as you're on 1 amp, you can put one in that's 10 amps. It'll only draw that 1 amp it needs. It's not like you need exactly 1 amp. Just as long as you've got the 5 volts from a USB micro, not a mini. The mini ones are a little bit different shape, or USB-C. You can adapt them. You can put a little adapter on if you really wanted to use one of those ones anyway. So then I get that either. So it's pretty versatile. As long as it goes into that as a micro, then you're fine. So anyway, that's the end of the video. Hope you've liked it. Please like, share and subscribe. Follow me on social media. Consider being a Patreon to help me out every single month. Consider a donation to help me out. So I can do videos and I'll put your name at the end with a Patreon or a donation at the scroll at the end of the video. Other than that, I'll see you in another video. Bye for now.